Good afternoon. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this afternoon. I just watched part of the Ireland game. Well done, Ireland. And who is that striker? I mean, Adam Idah was bought to Celtic for crazy money. And how did the man who was once in the team around about the same time as Cameron Carter-Vickers at Spurs, how did he manage to slip through the net at Celtic? Because let's face it, he is a phenomenal striker. But you've got to say, Scales had a big hand, well, a big head, in scoring the third goal, or helping Ireland score the third goal. It was his head on in the box in the final seconds of the game that allowed Parrott to find the goal again. What a phenomenal score rate that guy's got for Ireland just now. And it's put Ireland in a good place. But it's going to be an interesting week for Celtic because Scotland take on Denmark. Scotland take on Denmark on Tuesday. And it's a win or bust. And there seems to be a bit of issue in the Denmark camp. So there's going to be no love lost between the Celtic players. They'll all be trying to put... And I think... Do you know what? If you're a Celtic player, you'll know the weak points of Kasper Schmeichel, and you'll be telling everyone in the Scotland squad that, do you know, it's like hit for range, take a shot for range. There's no often that would be highly motivated for Scotland. I'm not interested in international football, but when you look at Scotland and you think it's made up for, I'm not being funny, like, but it's made up for Kieran Tierney to hit one of these screamers from outside the box and go right past Schmeichel, and that would just send Celtic fans into some kind of delirium. So I think I'll do. We'll do a watch. Should we do a watch along? There's a poll question. If I could type today. If we get 200 votes, I'll do a watch along for the Scotland game. I don't like doing watch along for international games because you don't. But I'm only doing it because it's Scotland Denmark, and I think it will be interesting to see Kieran. I want Kieran. I'm not being funny, like, but I want Tierney just to hit for range as soon as he gets anywhere near up the pitch. It's just test Schmeichel, because the new manager will be watching this game, and this is the only reason that I've got interest in it. It's the Celtic connection. It is the people are saying no, fucking no. And it's only from a Celtic's perspective that I'd watch the game. I've never watched a full international game this weekend. I didn't intend to on Tuesday, but with that being said, the fact that it is against our keeper, and I've not been funny on it, but if he has a bad game, and the next manager, only if you wear your square sausage Mick, has decided to leave behind his other profile that I seen him on with 5-10 minutes ago. Michael Ross, you naughty boy. Alright, Craigie. I don't even know if I'd need to see if I could get a CU Jimmy hat. I don't know where I could get one of them from. I would do it just for the banter. But I need to get 200 votes saying yes. The majority saying yeah. And right now it's 78% say yes, 22% say no. Jasper will be hoping that Adams plays. He's shite. Che Adams, I have no idea. But the only interest, that would be it after that. I'm not interested in watching Scotland games after that, even if they do get to the World Cup, because I think they'll get absolutely tanked in the World Cup, especially when you see how many goals a certain team put in today. Unbelievable. Portugal against Armenia, 9-1. Republic of Ireland versus were away at Hungary. They won 3-2. Early games today. There's games just about to kick off soon. Azerbaijan versus France. Ukraine versus Iceland. And then it's all on. And there's other games later on. Italy, Norway, Albania, England. 5 o'clock also. You hope the Albanians, that would be you could just imagine. I need to go onto Twitter because the England fans will be getting their totties there, as they say, don't they? They'll be getting their totties there by the Albanians, the Albanian drug lords that run half the United Kingdom. Will be getting their totties there. The English fans will be getting slapped about nothing silly, I tell you that much. But anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. We'll go on to Tuesday, and I just think it'd be an interesting game to watch. It's a winner-takes-all game for Scotland, isn't it? It's the first time that if Scotland win the game, they top the group. But I want to see... There's a bit of bittersweetness, because if Schmeichel does really bad in the game, and the next Celtic manager will be sitting watching that game on the telly, and you'll be thinking... And I want Forrest. I want either. No, Forrest isn't in the team. I do want a certain player just to hit the ball from outside the box and put a screamer right past him. Say, there you go. Hold my pint. Who's Celtic Scotland's most successful? That doesn't make sense, but anyway. Pat, keep talking your drugs. Scales is class. Is somebody giving Scales stick, is he? Scales has been phenomenal for Ireland the past couple of games. And there was an interesting position. Scales started the game today playing in midfield. And you're thinking, wait a minute. Look at the formation that they played. I'm going to change screens just now because I think it's... And this is all to do with the incoming Celtic manager. So it is all Celtic related for all you naysayers. But look at the way that Ireland set up. 3-4-2-1. That's the exact same formation that the new incoming, touchwood that it's fucking him. I tell you, see if we get to Tuesday and he's turned down the job. It's went, nah, we're going for someone else. Fucking... like same old Celtic. But when you see the formation that Ireland played today, they did go to a back four at one point and Scales was dropping back into a back four. But to have the 3 at the back, 4 in the middle, 2 further forward, and then the guy who's turning into a living legend, Parrott for Ireland, scoring 3 goals. Scales getting booked again. That's 2 games in a row that he's been booked for Ireland. But we know what Scales has got. You've got to take the good, the bad and ugly with Scales. I'm beginning to... I mean, I was a big fan of Scales a couple of seasons ago when he really stepped up the mark. Last season, I thought he was bomb scare stuff. This season, I'm back to thinking, you've got to... He's the type of player... Do you know what he is? He's a modern-day Peter Grant. I think that's it, because you knew what you'd get with Peter Grant. Peter Grant wasn't the best, but he got the job done. He was always there. He was always in that midfield. Could moving Scales forward, now it'd be interesting because we don't have the defenders at Celtic. You would really be wanting Scales to play in the back 3 for Celtic. And then you would actually push... Well, Sarachi's out injured, so you would push Kieran Tierney further forward. That's an interesting one. Would you push Scales further forward, leave Kieran Tierney behind him, or would you leave Kieran Tierney Would you move him further forward into that midfield slot on the left of the midfield and then put Scales in the left back? Do you know? Aye, Baz, he's like Peter Grant, says Sean. I think he is. He's everything that... Peter Grant wasn't the best. Peter Grant will admit that himself. I mean, he wasn't... He played in a midfield. But look at it this way. He played in a midfield that had Paul McStay and John Collins. Do you know, up here level stuff. And then there's Peter Grant. Come on. A booking for Scales is par for the course. Yeah, but you just hope that they don't tot up during the season, do they? But you've got to say, he's having the time of his life this season, both domestically and internationally. You know, he's that's 2 games in a row now for Ireland that he's played in 2 different positions. He's played on the left of a back 5 the other night. He played on the left of a back 5, and then he's moved forward to be on the left of a midfield 4. You never think that. Yeah, we'll talk about Johnny Kenny in a minute, because he had an absolutely fantastic, almost won the game, and it would have been amazing, absolutely amazing for Johnny Kenny's story if he managed to score a goal in that game today. But we'll talk about Scales, because I think that he is having the absolute game of his season. Is just, it's up there. It has to be one of the best seasons that he's had as a football player. And to go away with your national team and be trusted to move positions the way that he's done on both occasions, I just think it's phenomenal. And I just think it's interesting that Scales has been moved up into those positions. Anyway, let's jump into the comments and see what you're saying about it in the comments section. We are doing a poll. Should we do a watch along for the Scotland game on Tuesday? Only because it's the Celtic connection. Obviously, there are a couple of Celtic players. Tony Ralston. I'd love to see Tony Ralston put one past, and I don't want to say it, but Kasper Schmeichel, because I want Sinisalo as number 1 at Celtic, and it's just more for my own joy, really. I want to see Kasper Schmeichel doing bad, because seemingly he was having a right bitch moan at all the Denmark players about their draw in the last game. So yeah, there's a bit bitter sweetness coming in there, in the hope that we don't... God, I've changed screens. The hope that Kasper Schmeichel kind of gets a kick up the arse, doesn't he? Did they put 3 strikers on? Yeah, they played 3 strikers, and it's like they managed to play Parrott. They put... Jesus Christ, I'm fucking breaking things. They played 2 strikers behind Parrott, which was an interesting formation. So you've got to say that, I mean, the Ireland manager definitely having a goal, definitely tried to win the game, and they did. You've got to remember, they came from behind twice. Get him signed. He's going to cost too much money, Parrott, isn't he? He's going to cost far too much money for Celtic now. Like I say, they should have got him when he was at Spurs, coming through the system the same time as Cameron Carter-Vickers. I mean, they've been wanting 15 million for him now. There's absolutely no way is he coming to Celtic. Big bold Scales. We might need to shuffle the pack, the amount of injuries we have. Well, we're going to have to shuffle the pack with injuries we have, because there is an injury to a certain player that we are going to need to do something. I think we just wait to the end of the week once all the players are back. There's one thing for sure. If it is a new manager that takes the press conference on Friday for the game this weekend, he's going to be asked a hell of a lot of questions. He's going to be asked about why he picked Celtic, if he is the man that we think it is. You know, why he decided to come to Celtic after, you know, how does he feel he'll do, what does he want to bring to the game. He's going to be ram-packed. That's why I think that if he signs, I think it'll be Tuesday. So then they can do the press conferences on the Wednesday/Thursday. They hear the AGM on the Friday morning. He's going to be tied up with AGM stuff. I mean, imagine coming to Celtic and you're thrown straight into an AGM where you've got the majority of people at the AGM totally hating the board. And I think he's not adverse to a bit of, don't know, but anyway, we'll wait till that happens. What a phenomenal week we've got lined up in front of us. Robert says Scales has been solid for us, to be fair, doesn't get the credit he deserves. Robert, it does when he's deserved it. It's like I said with Scales, he's Peter Grant-like for me. Do you know, he's not the best, but he's a grafter. You know what the limitations of Scales are, but I tell you one thing, once again, this weekend, he's shown as a utility player. It's like, yeah, I'll play in the back five, no problem. Played that position, absolutely fantastic. Want me to move into midfield, play part of a midfield four, boom, played that, absolutely fantastic. He was all over the pitch at one point. You seen him go from the left of the midfield into a back four. So you've seen him move positions. And then he ends up right in the middle of the box. Right in the middle of the box to get a header down to the boy Parrott to score his third goal. I just think that Scales, Scales is the guy that's walking about with a cigar just now going, he's happy as a pig in shit. But it's an interesting one with so many players potentially out for Celtic at the moment. There could be a big shuffling of the pack, and we'll wait and see what the new manager has to say for it when he gets his press conferences this week. The buns on the Irish page before the 96th minute. Why did we not try to get Troy Parrott a few years ago before he became a superstar? I asked that question the other night because I looked into him, and then when you see that he was at Spurs, he came through the Spurs system the same time as we were involved with Spurs with Cameron Carter-Vickers. And you're thinking, if we knew the situation with Cameron Carter-Vickers, if we knew that he was a player that wasn't fancied by Spurs and was pumped out left, right and centre, why weren't we looking at a young Irish striker? It's crazy, because you would have got him for buttons. Now you're talking £15 million easy. Now he's for scoring 5 goals in 2 games on the international stage, 2 of them against Portugal. It's not as if it's crappy teams. 2 of them against Portugal. But anyway, if the haters got their way, we would have sold Scales in January. Would it be bad as selling Kuhn in the summer, to be honest? I think so. I don't think there was as many haters wanting Scales away. Scales last season was Mr. Consistency. He was always there. My issue that I had with Scales last season and going into this season is the shirt pulling. He gives away fouls. He's been booked again today. He was booked the other day. But that's just part and parcel of what we need to expect from Scales. So it's how do you then take that raw enthusiasm and that fight, that will to win, and how do we take... do you know what we should be talking about? Is how do we take Scales to the next level? How do we turn... And I'm going to say it, and people will shoot me down for this next comment, but how do we turn Scales into a £25 million defender? If Cameron Carter-Vickers was once priced at Celtic, fans said that Cameron Carter-Vickers was he's 20 million if you want Cameron Carter-Vickers. We need to seriously start thinking about what valuation we put on Liam Scales, because he's only on 15 grand a week. He's only on around about 15 grand a week, and if that's his agent, he'll be watching that game today and going, "Go on your cell, son. Go on your cell." And it's only good for him. So he's also had 2 assists in the Ireland games. Yes, he has that. And I think it's brilliant for him. Absolutely brilliant. Hope the new manager sees how important, and it's crazy thinking this, and people say, well, it shows how bad we are when Scales is a standout. But you've got to hand it to Scales. Come on, let's give the boy a bit of credit, man. He came over for Shamrock Rovers, and people were like, League of Ireland player, he's not going to do much. It's fucking, but he bleeds Celtic through and through. Bleeds us through and through. Somebody said yesterday, would Scales be a future captain? I'll tell you one thing, if you move him into the midfield and put him on the edge of midfield, give him a bit longevity in his game, and then you're talking about how can we improve Scales as a player, because that's the next level. It is about taking him and hopefully bringing in a manager that can bring him on to that next level. How many players have come back injured? There's just young Colby Donovan at the moment, but it's a potential end of season allegedly type scenario with Colby Donovan, and as if we don't have that, would leave Tony Ralston. Just saying. Parrot, Ida, Kenny at the end. I know. Could you imagine if we'd kept Adam Ida? I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Adam Ida and didn't like him, but he scored 29 goals in his time at Celtic. Phenomenal strike rate for a player that didn't get the amount of games that Kyogo Furiashi did, for instance. Johnny Kenny's just coming onto a game, younger player, but the boy Parrott, Jesus, could you imagine him in Celtic? You would rip teams apart. He played well against Portugal. The system Ireland played suits Scales. Going to a back five, I could see Celtic doing that in a European context. I mean, I did say when Ireland got that result the other night against Portugal, you're thinking, we need a manager that can play like that. If it's a back three, and then when we're away from home in Europe, we played a back five in Italy last season, and we got a fantastic draw against the team that won the Europa League the year before. So you've got to think about it. I like to look at that right wing back. He's feisty. Denmark will beat Scotland. Denmark are seemingly, they've got a bug that's going through the squad, that's decimating the squad, and Kasper Schmeichel fell out with half the players after the game the other night, allegedly. Scales' goal saving tackle against the Buns was unreal. What was that? Scales turns up for the team, then gets carded. Scales would be no man's land if he ended up signing for Aberdeen. Yeah, that's true. That's true. If Cameron Carter-Vickers, God rest his soul, if Cameron Carter-Vickers hadn't got injured again, Scales would never have got his opportunity. And that's the crazy thing about it. Is when Cameron Carter-Vickers was signed for big money, 6 million for Spurs. He was passed for pillar to post at Spurs. He'd had more loan signings than anything. I think he'd been about 6 or 7 clubs at his time at Spurs. And then Scales comes in and goes, that cost 500 grand. Oh, some say the devil is dead, some say the devil is dead, burn it in Killarney. Oh, say we rose again, oh, say we rose again, oh, say we rose again. Anyway, Scalesy, the man of the moment. That's all he is, really. He's the man of the moment. Couple of weeks' time, he could be absolutely hated by Celtic fans. Waiting for Scales to get caught with his jersey pulling and rash challenges. He gets booked for that all the time at Celtic, so we need to. If we didn't have Scales, we'd go and buy him full stop. You're right, actually. If we didn't have him, we probably would go and buy him. And I think it was good to get him at the age that we did. And you know what? There's a lot of people who are going to be eating humble pie at the end of this season. A lot of people will be eating humble pie when it comes to Scales, because I think that Scales is going to get to the end of this season, and I still say it. I think that Scales will be up there for Player of the Season award, absolute Player of the Season award. But you never know. 25 million for Scales. Gives a pipe what you're on. Why can't we turn Scales into that type of player? Why can't a manager... That should be the ambition of every player, every manager. Brendan Rodgers was meant to be an elite manager that was meant to turn players into superstars. Why can't we turn Liam Scales... Listen, we turned Matt O'Reilly for a 1.5 million player into a 25 million pound player. Why can't you do that with Scales? Surely a good manager and a good backroom staff should be able to sit down with somebody like Scales, someone that can move positions the way that he does. I mean, that's 3 different positions. In the space of a week in football, Scales has played centre back, left back and left mid. That's not a 500 grand player. That's not a 5 million pound player. Do you know, that's someone that can play in different positions and is highly thought of by the managers. Just saying. Apparently our international players don't get much game time. Lads, would you take some DNA from Van Dijk and then inject it into Scales? In fact, can we give Scales a blood transfusion for Van Dijk? Maybe not Bobo Baldi, because he's in the crazy house, isn't he? Scales plays like an ADHD, not bashing, but he may as well have it. Short then becomes world class. By the way, there's maybe something in that. There's maybe something. He's not got the control for midfield. He's playing left wing back for Ireland. I never said he's got control. He's playing on the left of midfield for Ireland. Do you know? So when you look at that, I think that if it was me, I'd play him on the left of a back 3, and I'd play Kieran Tierney further forward. I just think you get more for Tierney. But when you see what Scales has been doing over the last couple of games, tell you one thing. He's going to be walking in. I mean, that's him done with international football this week now. So he's got a couple of days off before he returns back to Celtic on Wednesday or Thursday. I think it'll be Wednesday that he'll return. But he's walking into Celtic Park and he's going to walk. Right, Paolo. Right, Paolo, where are you hiding? Bernardo, where are you? He's hiding somewhere. For fuck's sake. But look at it, turn Scales into a £3 million player. Not a chance. He's surely worth... Listen, if we can get £3 million for David Turnbull, bear with me this one, when David Turnbull had 6 months remaining on his contract, Scales has got 2 years left on his contract. You're not telling me that Scales is not worth more than £3 million. What's the story with Donovan? And the story was bad as nope. Scotland never do. They never send players for scans. They get the team to look at it, and then they just send them home to their national team, to their domestic team. So it'll be Monday before he goes for a scan. Celtic will send him for a scan on Monday, and then it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday before they get an update. So whoever takes the team talk on Friday, whether it's the new guy, he's going to be sitting down with a bit of paper in front of him going, fuck me, the team's decimated. What have I just walked into? It's like they've been in a war zone. Alistair Johnson to be our new captain. Ooh. Another huge assist for Scales. Ireland through to the playoffs. Scotland have a chance of getting through in first place. Never mind the playoffs. If Scotland win the game on Tuesday. How are we doing with the poll? If we can get 200 votes, and there's been over 1,000 people online. Come on, get the votes in. If we can get over 200 votes on the poll, and it's a win for the yes, we'll do a watch along on Tuesday night. I'm just hoping for a bit of Casper Schmeichel pain, to be honest, so that it just qualifies my desire to have a certain other keeper at Celtic in the number 1 shirt. We should have kept Adam Ida. Imagine selling him for a few £1 million like that. Ooh, don't say that. Don't say that. Our defence isn't the problem at the moment. Everywhere else is the problem. Any update on Nancy? Nope. It's I don't expect her to be, because it'll be direct phone call from Dermot, and that tends not to get leaked. You know, so if any information does get leaked, it will be after the deal is agreed, or it'll come out that Celtic are interviewing someone else, and I can't see that happening. So it would have been a case of there would have been a phone call yesterday, today, not too sure. The guy that was on Twitter from America saying that there's not been any contact made, he's went awfully quiet on the situation. I think he was talking shite, to be honest, just trying to jump on the bandwagon to get his Twitter account bombarded with Celtic fans. Someone in the pub says Steve Clarke would be a great manager for Celtic. Who was it? Was it your pal? Was it your good friend? Oh, I know who drinks in Michelle's pub. Anyway, move on for that. I've got a feeling that Scales player of the season. Jump aboard at Liam, because I'm all over it. I think that he will be the player of the season for consistency and everything, just everything that he's done over the season. Steve Clarke's bubbly laugh. Good, no chance. You can't teach natural ability. Scales does more than one job on the field, not recognised by for every game it plays. Scales never a £20 million player, says Michael Ross. I'm just jumping through these comments. If Scaldini gets a soaring, oh Jesus, don't say that. If Scaldini gets a soaring, we've got big Dane Murray at the back. Right, I'm going to jump through these comments because there's loads of them. So the big news today is Scales played in the middle of the park for, I'm not right in the middle, but he played on the left-hand side of a midfield four, which was an interesting move by the Ireland manager, who played Liam Scales the other day on the back of had a back five the other day, and he was on the left hand side of a back five. So in the space of just over a week, he's played centre back for Celtic. He's played on the left hand side of a defence for Ireland, and he's played on the left hand side of a midfield for Ireland also. Cracking result for Ireland today. They managed to get the result that, to be fair, at one point didn't look as if they were going to get. It's all down to Scotland now. How many votes have we had? 182 votes. There's been 1,200 people online. Come on. Should we do a watch along for the Scotland game on Tuesday? I was only staying on for half an hour. I'm not staying on until we get the 200 votes. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it hanging. But there is every chance that we will do, because I really want to see Kieran Tierney hit an absolute screamer for the edge of the box, right past Kasper Schmeichel, because I'm sick that way. Anyway, let's end the poll at 183 votes. And Michelle's laughing like fuck. Anyway, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all around the world. I'm sure if there's any update with Celtic, there won't be on a Sunday. Never is. Never is on a Sunday. Everyone will be looking to the Celtic media and ultimately the stock exchange for any early indication that Celtic are about to announce a new manager on Monday morning. Very much doubt it. I think it'll be confirmed late Monday afternoon at the earliest, and that it's going to happen, and then he'll come rolling up on Wednesday or Thursday, just in time for the board to take control of the narrative before the AGM on Friday. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. It's the farm we have found, and Brother Wolf has been around, that has taken us to the